Good evening, and welcome to the Crypto Overnighter. I'm Nicodemus, and I will be your host as we take a look at the latest cryptocurrency news and analysis. So sit back, relax, and let's get started. And remember, none of this is financial advice. And it's 10 p.m. Pacific on Friday, September 22nd, 2023. Welcome back to the Crypto Overnighter, where we have no sponsors, no hidden agendas, and no BS. But we do have the news, so let's talk about that. Tonight, we're diving into the labyrinth of legal battles, regulatory walls, and the global maneuvers that are reshaping the crypto landscape. From FTX's massive lawsuit to Binance's European jitters, and from the Senate's stalemate on crypto legislation to India's tightening grip, things are heating up. Buckle up, you don't want to miss this one. FTX is suing former employees of its Hong Kong affiliate, Salameda, for a staggering $157.3 million. The lawsuit makes allegations against Michael Burgess, Matthew Burgess, and their mother Leslie Burgess, Kevin Nguyen, and Darren Wong, along with two companies they controlled. The suit says the defendants fraudulently withdrew assets leading up to FTX's bankruptcy. This 90-day period before the bankruptcy filing is known as the preference period. During this time, these individuals allegedly exploited their connections to FTX personnel to prioritize their withdrawals over other customers. But wait, there's more. The lawsuit also claims that Matthew Burgess enlisted other FTX employees to expedite certain pending withdrawal requests. These withdrawals were made just hours after FTX halted all withdrawals on November 8, 2022. More than $123 million of the total $157.3 million were withdrawn on or after November 7th. Now, let's talk about the man at the center of this all, Sam Bankman-Fried. Now, he's currently in jail awaiting trial. His appeals to get out of jail have been rejected, and so he remains in jail as his trial approaches. What happened is the U.S. Court of Appeals for the Second Court also ruled against SBF. They found no merit in his arguments for release. The court stated that his actions likely fall outside constitutional protection. The court ruled that he likely tampered with witnesses, a claim that he denies. His trial starts on October 3rd, where he faces fraud and conspiracy charges. This lawsuit isn't the first time FTX has tried to reclaim payments. They've targeted Bankman-Fried, his executives. They've even gone after his parents, looking for company funds. But that's not all. His day got a lot worse when Judge Lewis Kaplan blocked all of SBF's proposed expert witnesses. The defense had a lineup of 7 individuals from various fields. The Department of Justice objected, and the judge sided with them. The defense can try again, but they're in a tight spot. If convicted, SBF could face over 100 years in prison. Now, if you think FTX's legal woes are a storm, brace yourself. We're venturing into the choppy waters of Binance and the EU's regulatory typhoon. Smash that like button and follow us for more analysis. Now, let's dive in. Binance is sounding the alarm over the EU's upcoming Markets in Crypto Assets law, known as MiCA. This regulation is set to take effect next year, and it's already causing a stir. MiCA aims to be the first comprehensive crypto regulation in a major jurisdiction. It will allow exchanges and wallet providers to operate across the EU with a single license. Sounds good, right? Here's the catch. The law has specific provisions for stablecoins, and these rules are set to kick in by June 2024. Binance's head of legal in France didn't mince words. She warned that we could see a, quote, delisting of all stablecoins in Europe on June 30th. Why? Because no stablecoin project has yet been approved under MiCA. This would significantly impact the European crypto market, isolating it from the rest of the world. The problem is, MiCA's language is vague when it comes to decentralized issuers. The lawyers are scratching their heads over provisions that require issuers to be EU-based. This could potentially rule out innovative governance models favored by many blockchain foundations. But wait, there's more. MiCA imposes a cap on stablecoin transactions. We're talking about a $216 million cap on stablecoins like Tether and USDC. That's not good for crypto adoption, folks. So what does this mean for the crypto landscape in Europe? MiCA could either be a boon or a bane. It does streamline regulations. That said, it could cripple the stablecoin market and stifle innovation. MiCA is a bit of a mixed bag. It brings clarity, but also raises, quote, very practical, difficult questions, as noted by the Director of Prudential Regulation and Supervisory Authority at the European Banking Authority. This is a global issue. It's based in the EU, but its reach is global. The decisions made in the EU corridors of power will echo across the crypto world. The next few months could define the future of crypto in Europe and beyond. From Brussels to Washington, the regulatory web is only getting denser. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell. You'll want to hear what crypto ally Pat Toomey has to say about the Senate's crypto gridlock. Stay tuned. Pat Toomey is a name you might remember as a crypto ally member of the Senate. The ex-senator recently spoke at a Georgetown law seminar. He had some sobering words for those of us waiting for regulatory clarity. Toomey left the Senate earlier this year. He doesn't see a path forward for crypto legislation in the current Senate, something I've noted a number of times lately. This is despite the House Financial Service Committee clearing multiple crypto bills for floor votes. Toomey's take? Even if the House approves these bills, the Senate is a different beast. He said, quote, "I don't see a path forward in the Senate, regardless of how the vote goes in the House." Now, why is this important? Any crypto legislation has to clear the Senate Banking Committee. Toomey was the top Republican there, but the current chairman, Senator Sherrod Brown, hasn't made a move. While Brown has been vocal about the risks of cryptocurrencies, he hasn't touched any specific legislative response. Faryar Shahzad is the chief policy officer at Coinbase. He sees this as a good sign. He argues that Brown's lack of commitment might actually be a positive indicator. He said, quote, "He hasn't committed at all on what to do. I might actually take that as a really good sign." But let's not get too optimistic here. As we reported, just last week, Brown urged regulators to use their existing powers to crack down on crypto firms. This aligns with SEC Chair Gary Gensler's view. The SEC has every intention of continuing its enforcement against the crypto industry. Toomey now sits on Coinbase's Global Advisory Council. He sees some hope for stablecoin legislation. The major sticking point? Whether it's going to be the Federal Reserve or state agencies that will regulate issuers. The Biden administration insists on the Fed's dominant role. Toomey believes that it's possible to bridge that divide, but he doesn't see this effort surviving the current Congress. He concludes, "In the next Congress, I think it's quite possible to get something done." At present, though, the Senate remains a significant roadblock for crypto legislation. While the House makes strides, the Senate is stuck in the legislative quagmire. And as much as we'd like to see progress, the powers that be are dragging their feet. It's a grim reality, but it's the one that we're currently living in. From legislative stagnation to surveillance escalation, India is tightening its grip. Tap that follow button to stay ahead of the curve as we delve into India's crypto watchtower. And this is our cover story for tonight. The Indian Ministry of Home Affairs is spearheading a tool called the Cryptocurrency Intelligence and Analysis Tool, or CIAT. Spearheaded by the Indian Cybercrime Coordination Center, CIAT aims to monitor crypto wallet addresses on the darknet. It will compile transaction records, including timestamps, dates, and exchanges used. The tool will alert authorities about irregular or unusual crypto activities. Now, why is this happening? India has seen a surge of crypto-related illegal activities. Just this month, an Indian software engineer lost over $120,000 to a crypto scam. In July, 2 suspects were arrested in a peer-to-peer crypto scam as well. The police seized fake bank accounts and ATM cards. The suspects used counterfeit IDs to scam Binance peer-to-peer users. But it's not just small fish getting caught in the net. Bollywood stars are also being roped into these scams. Police are questioning Bollywood star Govinda over his role in a crypto scam. The firm he promoted, Solar Techno Alliance, turned out to be a Ponzi scheme. It raked in more than $320 million from all over India. And then there's the taxes. Last year, Indian authorities slapped a 1% tax on crypto transactions. This led to a sharp decline in trading volumes across domestic exchanges. WazirX, a major Indian crypto exchange, attributes a 97% drop in exchange volumes to this tax. And don't expect relief anytime soon. The CEO of WazirX says there's been no formal discussions to reduce this tax. So is it just me, or is India tightening its grip on the crypto space? While they're developing tools like CIAT to monitor and control crypto activities, they're also imposing heavy taxes to discourage local trading. It's a double whammy for anyone interested in crypto in the country. And here's the worst part. The Federal Reserve of India is advancing with the development of a digital rupee. That's right. While they're cracking down on decentralized currencies, they're pushing out their centralized digital currency. Now, how's that for hypocrisy? And what does this mean for you? Well, if you're in India, be extra cautious. The government is watching, and they're not playing games. As for the rest of us, let's keep a close eye on India. Their actions could set a precedent for other governments eager to control the crypto space. Now, India is not alone in turning the screws on crypto. Hit that like button if you're ready to hear about Bybit's UK market exit in response to the new FCA rules. Bybit decided to suspend its operations in the UK. This move comes in response to new marketing regulations set by the UK's Financial Conduct Authority. The suspension will affect new UK users starting October 1st and existing users from October 8th. Bybit set a final deadline of January 8, 2024 for UK customers to manage their positions. After this date, any remaining positions will be automatically liquidated. The FCA's new rules require crypto firms to ensure their marketing is, quote, clear, fair, and not misleading. The rules also mandate prominent risk warnings for UK customers. The FCA expressed concern over the lack of engagement from unregistered crypto firms. Only 24 firms responded to a survey sent to over 150 firms, raising questions about their readiness to comply with the new regime. The FCA also warned intermediary businesses like social media platforms and payment firms to be cautious in supporting unregistered crypto asset firms. The FCA's new regulations are a clear sign of tightening control over the crypto industry in the UK. Bybit's decision to proactively suspend its services shows the immediate impact of these regulations. It's not just a matter of compliance, it's a matter of survival for crypto firms operating in the UK. The FCA's stringent stance aims to reduce and prevent serious harm, but at what cost? For anyone who cares about crypto, this is a concerning development. The FCA's actions are indicative of a broader trend of governments and regulatory bodies cracking down on the crypto industry. While the FCA claims to protect consumers, its actions could be seen as an attempt to centralize control over a decentralized industry. Bybit's exit is a wake-up call. It's a reminder that the crypto industry is still in its formative years, vulnerable to the whims of regulatory bodies. That said, while the FCA may succeed in driving some players out of the UK, the crypto industry as a whole will find ways to navigate these regulatory mazes. While Bybit's packing bags, eToro's planting flags in Cyprus. Turn those post notifications on so you don't miss how eToro is gearing up for the EU's MiCA regulations, the very same regulations that Binance was warning us about towards the top of the show. eToro is a social trading app offering both crypto and traditional stocks. They secured a crypto asset service provider registration from the Cyprus Securities Exchange Commission, or CySEC. This move is in preparation for the MiCA framework, which is expected to come into effect December of next year. The Cyprus registration will allow eToro to offer crypto services throughout the EU on a cross-border basis from one single entity. Hedva Burr is eToro's deputy CEO. They said the Cyprus registration, quote, signals that we are 100% ready to embrace a new era of crypto once MiCA comes into effect next year. Earlier this summer, Binance's Cyprus unit applied to be removed from the register of crypto asset service providers. This decision was in line with its efforts to comply with MiCA, focusing on, quote, fewer regulated entities in the EU. BaFin's Rupert Schaefer praised the MiCA framework, noting that it opens the door for more, quote, technical standards. It feels like eToro's CySEC registration is a strategic move to position itself as a compliant and trustworthy platform in the EU's evolving crypto landscape. While many are skeptical of regulatory frameworks like MiCA, eToro is embracing it, signaling a readiness to adapt and thrive in a regulated environment. This is in stark contrast to Binance, which seems to be reducing its regulated entities in the EU. As I indicated earlier tonight, the MiCA framework itself is a mixed bag. On one hand, it aims to provide clearer crypto regulations, which could attract more traditional investors into the space. On the other, it could stifle innovation and centralize power in the hands of a few compliant entities, organizations ready and willing to work with the state. eToro's move might be seen as a necessary evil to gain wider acceptance and legitimacy. As crypto becomes more mainstream, the tug-of-war between decentralization and regulation will intensify. And in that battle, it's crucial to remember that not all regulations are created equal, nor are they inherently bad. They can pave the way for broader adoption or become tools for control. So, what happened? FTX is suing former employees and associated companies for a staggering $157.3 million, claiming fraudulent withdrawals just before its bankruptcy. Binance is grappling with the EU's impending MiCA regulation that could decimate the stablecoin market in Europe. It's a potential game changer that could either streamline crypto regulation or stall innovation. Pat Toomey, once the senator's crypto ally, paints a bleak picture of crypto legislation's future in the Senate. Despite some hope for stablecoin regulation, the Senate remains a formidable obstacle. India is increasing surveillance on crypto activities while pushing forward its centralized digital currency. It's a contrasting approach that raises eyebrows and concerns about the nation's regulatory intentions. Bybit is exiting the UK market due to new FCA regulations, signaling a tightening grip on crypto in the country. It's a test, and maybe a warning, for regulatory compliance worldwide. eToro secures a crypto asset service provider registration in Cyprus, preparing for the MiCA framework. While some see this as capitulation to centralized regulation, it might be a necessary move for broader crypto adoption. The overarching theme tonight is one of jurisdictional jigsaw puzzles and legal gymnastics. From courtrooms to legislative halls, from Brussels to Delhi, the rules of the game are being rewritten. And the impact? Your ability to trade, your options for diversification, and your faith in the system are all at stake. So why should you care? Because each move, each regulation, each court decision, they all have ripple effects that will resonate throughout the crypto community. We're at a critical juncture where the lines between centralization and decentralization are becoming increasingly blurred. The choices made today will either open new pathways for financial freedom or erect walls that confine us. That's the reality we navigate, for better or worse. And that's going to do it for us tonight. I want to thank you, my listeners, because when you stop listening, I will stop talking. If you enjoyed tonight's show, then please like, follow, subscribe, leave a rating, or maybe a review. And in the meantime, we'll see you tomorrow night.